Now, this video actually might shock you. I've actually turned over a new leaf, right? I've actually have woken up now. I finally get it. I finally understand what and who Darby Allin is. For the past 2 or 3 years, man, I didn't understand the hype about Darby Allin. Because I was too stuck in my ways. I was very, very stubborn. I didn't get it. I didn't get why he was so hyped up. He was so pushed. I didn't get it. But now, doing all of my research and finally trying to wake up on who he really is, I think I have overreacted on Darby Allin for the past 2 or 3 years because I didn't understand what his character was. I seen him, a guy with face paint. He was short, small. I always docked him for his size, but I was very blind on his size. I didn't get what I was seeing. Now I do. I have no issue with his size. And here's why. His size actually fits his character. It took me a long time to finally realize why he ain't big and why he shouldn't be big. He is a skateboarder first. When you are a skateboarder, you are not supposed to be muscular and big and swole and heavy. You are supposed to be slender, slim, small. Because if you are heavy and big, buff, and swole, how are you supposed to be a great skateboarder? Right? Darby is a great skateboarder. If he was over 20 pounds, he wouldn't be a good skateboarder. I feel like his size will hold him back from being a great skateboarder. So the fact that him being a skateboarder is in his character, now I know why. His size actually does fit his character. He's not supposed to be big. He is a emo skateboarder. See, now I know what he is. See, it took me years to finally realize what is this guy's character. Now I know. It took me years to find out. But this is not the first time I actually turned over a new leaf on certain wrestlers. I have done the same thing with Orange Cassidy. If you have followed me for the past couple of months, I haven't said not one bad word about Orange Cassidy because I finally get his character. I grew to realize that audience loves Orange Cassidy for a reason. He's doing something that they like. I can't hate on that. He draws tons of views on YouTube for a reason. People like him for some strange reason. He's over, so I can't hate on it. If he's over, why would I hate on it? Right? He must be doing something right with that character. But when it comes to Darby Allin, it's how about this? Why not? I think we should compare him to Rey Mysterio Jr. Right? I remember, I think a couple of weeks back, I made a video about how Wardlow got buried, right? But in hindsight, it wasn't Darby Allin's fault. It was Tony Khan's fault. But when it comes to Darby Allin, yes, I still stand firm on the fact that it was dumb for him to beat Samoa Joe. Listen, Darby Allin beating Samoa Joe, that made no sense. I will still stand firm on that booking. That was dumb. Darby Allin had no business beating Joe in that fashion because it buried Wardlow. If Joe didn't beat Wardlow, maybe I wouldn't have no issue with it, right? If he never faced Wardlow a week prior, I wouldn't have no issue with it. But the fact that Wardlow couldn't beat him, but Darby Allin can, that's what I had an issue with. Not with Darby, but I had an issue with Tony Khan doing that. That made no sense. You made Wardlow look very, very weak because Darby beat Joe clean. But it wasn't Darby's fault. That was a Tony Khan problem. But there is places for a guy like a Darby Allin in professional wrestling. Look, we should compare him to Rey Mysterio Jr., not Jeff Hardy. We should compare him to Rey Mysterio Jr. Because there was a point in time where Rey was actually the same size as Darby Allin when it comes to their build. When it comes to Rey's size actually does fit his character. Darby's size actually does fit his character. It took me years to realize it. Listen, I thought Darby was lazy. I'm like, bruh, how come this guy is not in that gym getting swole and buff and all that stuff? Then years later, if finally hit me, he doesn't need to be big. He is a goddamn skateboarder. Look, when you are a skateboarder, you are not supposed to be big. You are supposed to be small and slender, which fits Darby. I feel like if Darby was not a skateboarder, I feel like he would be bigger. I feel like his body would be a lot bigger. Because Darby has put on some size for the past 2 or 3 years. So I feel like if he was not a skateboarder, he would be a lot bigger. But the fact that he's a skateboarder, he can't be big. He's not supposed to be big. If he's big, how the hell is he supposed to be a goddamn skateboarder if he's big, right? That wouldn't make no sense. So I finally realized why he's small now. Bro, it took me years to realize it, but now I realize why he's small and why that actually fits him. I will put Darby as he's the exception to the rule. He doesn't have to be big based on his whole entire character. His character fits him being that small guy. That actually does work. We should compare him to Rey Mysterio. Based on his size and the fact that he's really, really over. I would go as far as to say he kind of reminds me of Kid Cash from ECW. When it came to Kid Cash, he fit that ECW audience only. It's like he fit that system. He only worked for that company. A guy like Kid Cash, he only fit in with that company. That's who I compare Darby Allin to. Darby, he only fits that all elite wrestling audience. Like he fits that atmosphere. He's over with that audience. So now I'm starting to open up to Darby Allin. I'm starting to really become a fan of Darby Allin. For the past couple of months, I've actually grown to like him. It was just, that was dumb booking. He had no business beating Joe. If freaking Wardlow can't beat him within a damn 2-week span, Yes, that's bad booking. That's bad booking. A guy like Wardlow can't beat Joe, but the following week, Darby can't clean? Yes, that was bad booking. That should have been spaced out. That's what I mean. That made Wardlow look weak. That made Wardlow look very, very weak. That match should have been spaced out. Like, let Darby Allin and Joe feud without Wardlow being involved. Right? Their match should have been spaced out. But I have no issue with Darby beating Joe. It's just not that soon. That was too soon, bro. That made Wardlow look weak. That was too soon. So overall, I have become a fan of Darby Allin because I know what his character is. If I don't know what your character, I'm not going to like you. But I know what his character is now. He is a emo skateboard guy. I finally know what he is. So, you can make the argument he is the all-elite wrestling version of Rey Mysterio, right? He's a small guy. The crowd loves him as that tough freaking underdog. Like, I think Darby is a modern day Rey Mysterio. Because of his size, he has a quiet charisma about him, just like Rey. Rey has great presence. He has a quiet charisma. Darby has great stage presence and a quiet charisma. It's like he does have a presence. It's like he has that Rey mystique. He has a Rey Mysterio mystique to him. To me, I think he's a modern day Rey. Because you can make an argument. Darby is a giant killer. Let me say it again. Darby Allin. He is a giant killer. He beat Joe. He has beaten a lot of big guys as of late. And he's like, what, 5 foot? I think he's like 5'8". He's 5'8", 170. He is a modern day giant killer. Now, here is the $1 million question. Do I think Darby Allin should be a world champion in the near future? I say, why not? He's over with that audience. I say, why not? Because look, based on his character, yes, he is small, just like Rey. But yes, he's small, but him being small fits his character. He is an underdog. And he's mega over. I mean, look, he has a great song. I feel like he has a great thing going on. It took me years to find out who the hell was Darby Allin. It took me years. I know who he was. I'm like, bruh, why is he so special? Now I know why. His whole character fits. It's like he does have charisma. He does have a good look for his character. He has a very, very good look. Like, you can actually market that. Like, kids do wear his face paint, so you can market him. He's very marketable. You can market Darby Allin. So overall, do I think he can be a world champion? Yeah, most definitely. Maybe not now, but I think he can be a world champion based on the crowd. So you gotta read the room. The room says they like Darby Allin no matter what. And the fact that we have to view him as a giant killer. That's what he is. So I think he might be a modern day Rey Mysterio. He's not Jeff Hardy. I think he's a modern day Rey Mysterio. That's it. I'm done.